Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
We're going to have some fun for the month of October, and we're going to be talking about colors. Colors, okay? And of course, English has lots of phrases and words that have to do with colors, and we use colors to describe many things, like the colors of various objects, but also we use them to describe our emotions.
We do. We use them as not quite idioms, but the way we use them, we can sum up a situation very quickly by using just a couple of words. And these, for the next 2 days, are centered around different colors. You may have heard of a couple of them. They're all very popular, though. So I would encourage you to actually learn all of them and how to use them because they are very, very popular in English conversation. Right now, guys, we're going to do what we always do and read through day 1.
Bored in conversations with friends? These colorful idioms are sure to stimulate lively chats. Paint the town red. It's Friday night and you're ready to paint the town red with some companions. Don't waste your money on red paint, though. The idiom actually means to go out and have fun. Some sources say it comes from a drunken incident involving Henry Beresford in 1837. Beresford and his friends were heading into town when they were asked to pay a toll. Instead of paying, the group decorated the toll booth and some doors with red paint they'd found before being disrupted by police. Next time you go out with your friends to have a good time, don't literally paint the town red. Get the green light. The light just turned green, so you'd better step on the gas. Green is widely perceived as a symbol of moving forward. This expression comes from the traffic lights you see everywhere. In the general sense, however, to get the green light means to get consent. It's often used in business contexts, such as a boss giving approval for employees to proceed with a proposal. Out of the blue. You're cycling home from school when out of the blue it starts raining. There weren't even any clouds in the sky 10 minutes ago. When something happens unexpectedly like this, it happens out of the blue. This idiom derives from a similar phrase, a bolt out of the blue. Here, the word bolt refers to a lightning bolt, which might suddenly cross a clear blue sky and then vanish. The original version has since been shortened, but out of the blue has retained the same meaning.
Let's take a look at the title first, guys. The title is Lend Some Color to Your Conversations. We'll often talk about a conversation as being colorful, or maybe someone's way of speaking is colorful, their speech. I know people like that too. Just kind of very interesting and not your normal choice of words if you say someone has very colorful speech. Sometimes it means they're swearing or they're using swear words in their conversation, but not always.
And here's our question. Bored in conversation with friends? Are you bored in conversations with your friends? You've talked about the same subjects over and over, and you'd like to spice things up a little bit. So these colorful idioms are sure to stimulate lively chat. So here we've got the word stimulate. To stimulate as a verb just means to raise the amount of activity, to make something more exciting, to make it more noticeable. So, of course, sometimes the government will give us money to stimulate the economy, for example. I think, was it last year or maybe 2 years ago, we all had money to stimulate the economy. And in this particular case, we want to stimulate our lively chats. We want to make them more interesting.
And as you probably understand, idioms are kind of weird because it's usually a group of words that are put together, but when you read these words, and if you don't know what the idiom is, you think, what? What does that mean? For example, it's raining cats and dogs. Really? No. So some of these will sound funny, but once you understand them, you can use them in conversations. And it's a short way to express what's going on quickly, as you know, because you guys have idioms in Chinese too. So here's the first one. We're going to paint the town red. Really? Well, it's Friday night. Here's the situation, and you're ready to paint the town red with some companions. Companions are just people that you hang out with. You could have a pet as a companion. A lot of people here like small dogs and cats that they take outdoors on walks with them. But you could have a person who just likes to go with you and do things. That could be a companion. And of course, the elderly often have someone who accompanies them outdoors, their companions. It probably is a good idea that they have someone younger to help them. But that's what a companion is. Someone that you hang out with. Maybe you travel with them. Maybe you just go to concerts, or maybe just go out and eat with them. But someone who keeps you company.
Indeed, and yes, if you're going out on the town, you want to go with some friends, with some companions. And however, you're not going to waste your money on red paint, though, okay? You can paint the town red, but you don't need to bring any red paint along with you. The idiom actually means to go out and have fun. And I suppose like you, or you, probably like me, probably don't really know exactly where this phrase came from, at least before our lesson today.
Yeah.
But we often use it anyway, even though we probably don't know what it means. Hey, let's go out and paint the town red. We'll go out and have dinner. We'll go have some drinks afterwards and maybe play some pool or something. Yes, we're going to paint the town red, but yes, you don't need to bring any red paint with you. Again, it just means to go out and have some fun. Now, where exactly does this phrase come from?
Well, some sources say it comes from a drunken incident involving a man named Henry Beresford in 1837. So sometimes we don't know exactly where something comes from. So you might see something like this, some sources say, or it said that, because we're not exactly sure. There are websites on the internet that actually try to trace the history of some popular phrases or idioms back to their start or back to their beginning. It's kind of interesting to read those. So this one that we're talking about seems to be about a man who got very drunk. So if you're drunk, you're drinking alcohol, and you kind of lose the ability to really speak clearly, walk straight, or make good decisions sometimes. So this guy's name was Henry Beresford back in 1837. So we've had this saying for a while. Now, if it involves somebody, you know this verb, it just means it includes them. They're a part of something, or maybe a part of the result. But this drunken incident involved this man, Henry, back in 1837.
Right. For example, I could say there were 3 men involved in the crime. Okay, so there were 3 bad people who committed this crime. 3 people were involved. So this particular incident involved Henry Beresford, and it took place way back in 1837. Now, Beresford and his friends were heading into town when they were asked to pay a toll. And we used to have to do this manually on the freeways here in Taiwan. You'd stop and pay a toll. There'd be a person standing there, and you hand them 40 NT, and then they give you a little ticket. They haven't done that in a little while, many years, but now they have the electronic toll collection system. So basically, toll is money you pay, usually to use a highway.
Right. We used to call those little, those containers, they were so small that the people would sit in, a toll booth. But yeah, now everything's electronic, so that's a toll. So they were asked to pay a toll while they were heading into town. So instead of paying, this group was a little crazy, and they decided, we're going to decorate the toll booth and some doors with red paint. They'd found the red paint before they were disrupted by police. So the police did see them and saw what they were doing, and they said, oh, you can't do this. Yeah, when you're drunk, you tend to make really bad decisions. So that's where this all started from, is just a group of drunk friends together, and when they were asked to pay the toll, instead of paying the toll, they went ahead and painted the toll booth and doors with some red paint.
Interesting. So maybe the person inside the toll booth was powerless to stop them. So maybe they brought along some spray paint or something like that.
I don't think there was spray paint in 1837.
I don't think it existed back then. So they just decorated the toll booth and they used red paint. And they had found the red paint before they were disrupted by police. Okay, so I guess they managed to paint the toll booth a little bit with some red paint that they had found before. But then the police came and broke things up and probably said, hey, you guys can't be doing that. It's against the law. Now you're going to have to pay a fine. Not a toll, but a fine. A fine, of course, is something you pay when you break the law. But if you're trying to cross a bridge or use a section of a highway, then you're going to pay a toll. Okay, that brings us to the midway point in today's lesson. It's time now to listen to our Chinese teacher.
听众朋友大家好，我是安娜。我们今天跟明天的文章呢还蛮有趣的，它是有关于颜色的片语。像我们中文会说，哎呀，你不要不分青红皂白啊，或那个人怎么黑白不分啊，什么之类的。我们的片语当中啊，其实也有很多的颜色。那么英文也是这样的，所以我们今明2天呢会跟大家介绍在英文当中蛮常用的有关于颜色的片语。比如说第一个颜色的片语叫做 paint the town red， 这里的 paint 是动词哦，表示上油漆的意思。那这一句英文呢，听起来好像怪怪的，字面上是把城镇漆成红色，但其实它有寻欢作乐啦，或者是狂欢庆祝的意思。怎么会这样子呢？其实啊，这句片语它的来源是当时在19世纪1837年呢，有一个 Henry Beresford 这个人呢，他当时本来要出去狂欢，结果呢发生了一个酒醉的事件。当时是如何的情况呢？当时本来要前往镇上比较热闹的地方啊，他们一群人呢，他们要进去镇上的时候被要求要支付这个通行费嘛，结果他们并没有付钱，反而是呢被警察打断之前，他们找了一些红色的油漆去漆了收费站啊，还有一些门，后来变成 paint the town red， 就有寻欢作乐或者是狂欢庆祝的意思。好，不过在这一段当中啊，我们要看一下，像第2句当中，这个动词很重要哦。我们国中的时候也有学过 ，waste time, waste money, doing something or on something， 浪费时间或金钱做某件事情或某件事情上头。好，那么后面呢，我们同样在这一段看一下最后一句第7句的地方，我们把前面2个字可以画起来哦。因为 next time 字面是下一次，但是其实 next time 本身是连接词，也就是后面要加主词动词，你要把它当成 when 的一种用法。下次当你如何如何的时候 ，next time you go out。We're
going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. This is our fun unit, and we're talking about using some fun color idioms in your conversations to kind of spice up your conversation, make them more lively. Everyone gets bored every once in a while, and sometimes just using different words and phrases can make a conversation seem more interesting. Now, when we left you, we were talking about how we got this idiom, paint the town red.Yeah, we're going out this weekend and we're gonna paint the town red. You hear it a lot, especially Friday, while you're at work. You might be telling your coworkers, oh yeah, we've got big plans this weekend. we're going to go paint the town red. So somebody's excited. They feel like they're really going to have a good time. Maybe it's a weekend. Maybe it's just, a short period of time during the day. You don't have to be painting the town red on a night or a weekend. But that's usually when people kind of let their hair down, which kind of means to relax and just go and have a good time. So we were talking about where this idiom came from. Some sources say it came from this guy named Henry Beresford. He was with some friends and they got quite drunk back in 1837. And when they were heading into town, they were asked to pay a toll, which is a fee to use that particular road. We had tolls for so long. There are still tolls on roads, but now the money is collected electronically. So instead of paying, the group thought, no, we don't want to pay. So they had found some red paint at some point in this story. And they decided to decorate the toll booth, which just means they painted the toll booth red and some doors. But then the police found them and they were taken away.
Indeed. So the next time you go out with your friends to have a good time, don't literally paint the town red. Nowadays, it just means to go out and have a good time and do lots of exciting things, etc. Usually on the weekend, I would say. And yes, indeed, you're not going to literally paint the town red. Literally means you're really going to do that, okay? The opposite of that is figuratively, okay? So, this is just a figurative expression to paint the town red. You're not really going to do it. You're not going to literally paint the town red.
Right, and we use that a lot with idioms and phrases like that. For example, I just said, on the weekend or Fridays, you want to feel like you can let your hair down. Well, that's a figurative way of speaking. It's not literal. If I was literally saying I'm going to let my hair down, I would actually take my hair out of the bun or the ponytail and let it hang down my back. So, yeah, we use it a lot, this word, when we don't mean exactly what we're saying. Like, I'm not really going to let my hair down. I'm just saying that as a way to tell you I'm going to relax. So, moving on. Here's the next one, get the green light. You guys know what green light means here, at least on the road. If you're coming up to a traffic light, you've got the green light, the yellow light, which is caution, and then the red light, which is stop. So the green light, here's our scenario, our little situation. The light just turned green, so you'd better step on the gas, which means really hit that gas pedal hard so you can zoom away. So usually when you see green, it means go to most of us. I had to learn here in Taiwan, though, Tom, that when I was looking at the stock market, that green was bad and red was good, which is the opposite in America.
Of course, they like 红字 here. Red means good. It's a lucky color and stuff like that. And gas here just is short, again, as you said, gas pedal or the accelerator. And a related term would be to put the pedal to the metal, which means to accelerate rather quickly. And in this particular case, yes, you want to push your foot down on the accelerator and start moving because the light turned green. And green is widely perceived as a symbol of moving forward. And this expression comes from the traffic lights you see everywhere. And that's pretty universal, pretty much all over the world. Green means go, red means stop, and yellow means speed up before the light turns red.
Right.
That's what it means here, but in other countries it actually means slow down and prepare to stop. Now, in the general sense, however, to get the green light means to get consent. So, yeah, if you get the green light, then somebody gives you permission. That's what consent means. To get permission, you're allowed to do something.
Right. I have to say that Taiwan drivers aren't the only ones who speed up when they see that yellow light. I think that's worldwide. Yeah, we're supposed to be slowing down and preparing to stop, but usually people are in a hurry to get somewhere. Be careful, though. So, this phrase is often used in business contexts, which just means in a business environment, you'll often hear people say, oh, the boss gave us the green light. Oh, we just got the green light from our client. Let's go. So the green light just means a boss gave you approval for something, or maybe a client looked at your proposal and thought, yeah, this looks pretty good. I want you guys to go ahead and get started. So you're trying to get someone's approval before you get the green light. You're probably talking to them, presenting a proposal, something that you want to do, and you're giving them time to look it over. Approval just means you're agreeing officially to something that someone wants to do. So here's a boss giving an approval, maybe on some sort of request that their employee had. Maybe it's just a request to take vacation. If you get the green light from the boss, that just means the boss said, yep, you can go ahead and go on vacation. Now, if you proceed, Tom, what does proceed mean?
It just means to go forward, to do what you want to do. Proceed. So you might ask somebody a question, is it okay if I go now? They'll say, yes, proceed. Go ahead. You may do what you want to do. Or if you're going to give a speech, now it's your turn. You may proceed. You may begin your speech. So there you have it, to get the green light. And now let's talk about a phrase called out of the blue. Okay, so here's a scenario. You're cycling home from school. You know, you're riding your bicycle home from school. When out of the blue, it starts raining. That does happen a lot here in Taipei. Of course, sometimes, especially during the summer, it can suddenly start raining out of the blue. So yeah, out of the blue generally means rather quickly, but we'll give you a more detailed explanation in just a couple of seconds. Yes, it starts raining. There weren't even any clouds in the sky 10 minutes ago. Yeah, how could it be raining now? It was so sunny just a couple of seconds ago, and now it's raining, and I'm not wearing my raincoat.
Oh, I had that happen a couple weeks ago. I left my house. It looked sunny outside, and I got outside, and out of the blue comes the rain. It didn't last very long, so thank goodness. So, yeah, we use this quite a lot when something happens suddenly. You didn't expect it. You're kind of shocked by it. So this idiom derives from a similar phrase, which goes, a bolt out of the blue. A bolt here kind of represents a lightning strike. You know, if you see a lightning represented in drawing form, or somebody, you know, just sketching something up, it looks like a bolt. We call those a lightning bolts. So a bolt out of the blue, kind of a shock to you, right? So the word bolt refers to a lightning bolt, as I said, and it might suddenly just start raining out of the blue. It happens all the time. To derive from something or be derived from something means it comes from that place, or you obtained it from that place. So we're saying that this particular idiom came from, or we obtained it from, a similar phrase, a bolt out of the blue. So here the word bolt, it says refers to. If you use that phrase, refers to, it just means you're mentioning it, or it connects back to something. So this word bolt connects back to a lightning bolt, or refers to a lightning bolt.
Yep, that's what it's talking about.
Yeah, totally.
And it might suddenly cross a clear blue sky and then vanish. That's what a bolt of lightning does. So yes, you can use this phrase both ways, out of the blue or a bolt out of the blue. And then, of course, that bolt of lightning may suddenly vanish. And the original version has since been shortened, but out of the blue has retained the same meaning. So yeah, I was going to say, we don't really hear that phrase, bolt out of the blue. It's not very common.
Yeah, but it's still in books and stuff. I've seen it.
You'll see it around, but most times when people are speaking, they'll say out of the blue. I was walking down the street, and out of the blue, my high school classmate showed up. There he was. We had a great chat. So in this case, yes, it just means something happened rather quickly. And of course, the original version has been shortened to just out of the blue, but it still has the same meaning. And of course, there are other color idioms which we'll talk about next time, but right now we're going to listen to our Chinese teacher.
好，那么接下来的第二个有关于颜色的片语是绿色哦。绿色的片语叫做 get the green light， 得到绿色的灯。得到绿色的灯什么意思啊？其实这个词啊是从红绿灯 the traffic lights 这样变过来。你看绿灯的时候我们就可以通行啦，所以其实get the green light 就是得到绿灯，表示你已经得到批准，获得同意。不过通常是用在一个商业的情境，比如说像是上司批准员工可以继续某一个提案，或者是继续进行什么样的计划。所以在这里的 get the green light 就是给予批准啦，获得同意的意思。不过同样在这里呢，我们要注意一下第二句的地方有一个动词叫做 perceive。perceive 它本来有感官的一种接收或者是感觉的意思，在这里前面 be 动词跟后面的 as 我们三个字可以画起来哦。be perceived as 指的是被认为如何如何，因为被认为如何如何我们比较常用的是be regarded as， 中间 regard R-E-G-A-R-D be regarded as be perceived as 被认为如何如何。好，那么不过我们接下来同样这一段也要看一下第五句最后一句的地方。最后一句在中间的部分有一个逗点，逗点之后有 such as， 例如说什么样的这个商业环境呢？例如说上司批准员工可以继续提案，这里特别注意一下 such as， 因为本身是一个介系词的片语，介系词后面只能加名词或动词 ing， 可是我们在这里的 such as 之后要很明确的表达 a boss， 有一个人老板他做了某一个动作give approval for someone to do something， 但是因为受到 such as 介系词的影响，后面老板给予同意，这个给予就要变成动词 ing， 所以介系词之后只能加名词动词 ing。 如果你需要有主词，有一个人他做了一个什么动作，那个动作呢就要变成动词 ing， 这里要特别注意哦。好，那么接下来第三个呢则是 out of the blue，那么其实它是突然或出乎意料的意思，它原本的这个片语呢是出现在第四句，本来应该是 a bolt out of the blue， 那所谓的 bolt 指的是闪电，那突然晴空万里 the blue 指的是蓝天，在蓝天当中怎么突然会有闪电嘞？闪电不是打雷，是要下雨，可是没有乌云啊，所以它有很出乎意料或突然的意思。不过在这一段我们要特别注意一下第五句的地方有一个关系子句，先行词是 a lightning bolt， 就是我们刚刚说的闪电，逗点之后的 which 到句尾可以左右括号，它是一种补充说明的一种关系子句， which 指的就是这个闪电。闪电注意一下哦，关系子句当中其实有两个动词，第一个动词是 cross， 第二个动词最后一个字的 vanish 消失，所以闪电突然划过蓝天然后消失了，中间这个动词 cross 特别注意一下动词，那我们常常看到的 across A-C-R-O-S-S 则是介系词，它通常会搭配动词，比如说跑过街 run across the street， 或者是飞过哪里 fly across。 好，我们明天还会再看几个有关于颜色的片语，记得要准时收听哦。我是安娜，明天见。
That's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and please join us again next time when we continue to talk about some colorful idioms. Please join us then. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.